Hey guys, this is Ray and I'm doing a brief video on this new ProTech Redline flashlight by NEBO. And the reason I got this so it can fit hopefully nicely on my shotgun that I have here. Let me focus it on that for you. This is a Mossberg 500 Mariner edition, and I was looking for something to allow me to mount a flashlight, and there was so many different choices out there. What I didn't want is I didn't want something that was going to attach to the pump action. I just didn't want it to be rocking back and forth, and I didn't want anything that went on the barrel itself, so I was looking for a way to attach to this magazine. And this device came packaged. There's a part in here. Here's the clamping device here. Let me zoom up on this so you can see it. It's made of a high quality aluminum. I don't know much about different types of aluminum and stuff like that, but it does feel very solid. It feels like it's not going to fail and it's not going to break. Now, I'm not looking for something to put 1,000 rounds through, running through a jungle or anything like that. I'm just looking for a method to light up a room. But my initial thoughts I wanted to share with you. I read some reviews, people saying that they thought that this was going to break or be kind of too lightweight. And my initial thoughts is that this thing is built pretty solid. I mean, it's a fine grade aluminum. It doesn't feel cheap to me. And the clamping power, I'm going to assume, is going to be really good to hold this thing in place. Now, I also got the pressure switch that has 3 buttons in here, or actually 1, 2, 3, 4. And I guess that's so you could always find, your fingers could always find where to hit this thing. What I've been most impressed with, though, in this 15 minutes I had prior to turning on my video camera, is the quality of this flashlight. This thing, it feels solid. It looks pretty sweet. Not that that makes too much of a difference, but looks are important. And it also is one of the most brightest lights I've ever seen on a flashlight. And for those of you that don't know me, I do work for the fire department, so we do get issued flashlights that are really high-end Saber lights. They're super bright, they're waterproof and all that. I'm going to say that just based on what I'm seeing here, this is every bit as bright as the lights that we get issued. So, and the other good thing about it is that there's actually 5 different lighting modes in here. There's full power, 100% brightness, and then you can go to 50% brightness, then 10% brightness, and then an SOS signal. And the last one is this defensive strobe. Now, I think this thing could put somebody into a seizure. This is unbelievably bright and no doubt would be a distraction or disabling for somebody in the middle of the night if they happen to see this. I'm going to put it into the camera, so if you are sensitive to that kind of stuff, just look away for a second. I just want to show you how intense this is for those that are viewing this online. So imagine somebody coming into your house and getting blasted by that kind of beam. Pretty impressive. Now what I want to do is I just want to go ahead and mount this thing. Also, one thing it did have, and I forgot to mention it, it has an adjustable pattern. So you can go to this spotlight and you could twist out and go to a flood. Pretty impressive, and like I said, super, super bright. It says it's 220 lumens. That was among the brightest lights I've seen out there. So let me go ahead and assemble this, and you can take a look at what it looks like on my shotgun. Now, this gun, just so you know, it has been safety checked. I don't know if you can see or not. There's nothing in the barrel and nothing in the magazine here. So we're completely safety checked and good to go. So let me slide this down here. Check the focus to make sure that you guys can still see it. Great. Now this part here, there's 2 different sizes when the clamp is completely closed. As you can see, there's a smaller circumference of an opening and then a larger one. Not really certain why that is. The shotgun and the flashlight almost share the same size, so I'm not sure why this is of 2 different diameters. I'm going to go ahead and attach the flashlight to the smaller part because I don't want to put too much crimping force on my actual magazine, and I'm going to see how I feel, if that feels like it's going to be a good solution or not. So first I'm going to put this onto my shotgun. Let's see which way I want to do it. I guess it doesn't really matter. I have plenty of room for the pump to still slide forward. And then I'm just going to attach this in here like that. I'm just going to slowly start tightening this down until it grabs it. Okay, it's got it. Not going to go too tight because when you throw this little lever, if you make it too tight, you're not going to be able to swing it all the way over. So there we have it. Now that's pretty darn tight. Now I have to take it to the range and see how it holds up, but just for this purpose, let me swing it around and give you another look of how that looks. To me that looks pretty good, and you can see I still have plenty of room to pump and get a chamber or get a shell in there without this hitting the mounting part. Now I'll activate it here and you can see how that looks illuminated. And I'm going to shine it on the wall, so let me just swing the camera over so you can see what it looks like. Okay, I turned off the lights in my house, but it is 3 o'clock in the afternoon in South Florida, so you can't really eliminate all the lights, but you can see I have a little night light that kicked on because it has that photoelectric cell. So it's kind of dim right now in the house. I'm going to show you, here's the spotlight here, and this spotlight is probably about a 1 foot high by 1 foot wide kind of pattern, and I'm about 7 feet away from the wall, and it's pretty intense. You could see that this is like being under a magnifying glass out in the sun. It's that kind of intense white light. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the pattern and go to the flood. Now the flood on this wall is probably about 5 feet by 5 feet. It's taking up on the wall. This would really illuminate a target without question. And there's no way that that person seeing this flashlight would be able to make out that this flashlight is attached to a shotgun. It's just not, it's so blinding of a light, that's just not going to happen. And I'm just going to cycle through some of the different settings. So that's 100%. There you go at 50%. That's 10%. The 10% does still trip that photoelectric cell. Then you go to the SOS pattern, which I don't know, I guess it's not going to have any application being on the end of my shotgun, but it is pretty cool. And this next one, this defensive strobe, is just killer. I mean, this thing is so intense. Like I said earlier, this defensive strobe pattern, I mean, this might put an intruder into a seizure because this thing is just, this thing you just don't want to look at. It's that intense. So let me turn the lights back on. Okay, let me show you this mounting assembly again. This is solid. This is not going anywhere. I could hold a whole shotgun just based on this clamp. So I think it's not going to fall off on you if you fire this shotgun. Now I'm going to take it to the range and I'll have a follow-up video that demonstrates that. But I am very confident that this is not going to go anywhere, even if I put several rounds through this shotgun. Now this might need adjustment, you know, after you put a dozen or so rounds through it. But remember the purpose of this. This is a home defense shotgun. I'm not running through the woods Rambo style, hoping that this thing is going to take 1,000 rounds and never need to be adjusted. This is the type of device that in the case of an emergency that you need to grab your shotgun and you want to have a powerful light attached to the end of it so you can sweep your house and make sure that you could have clear visibility of an intruder. So the gun has been safety checked. You can see there's nothing chambered and nothing in the magazine here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn off the light, and you can see from the perspective of me holding the shotgun, pointing the light into the camera, what kind of visibility you have of the shotgun. So let me go do that now and turn off the light. All right, let me show you what this looks like now. There's still light in my house, obviously, but even with that, this is at 100%. Now, if I kick it down to the 50%, 10%, you probably now are getting a glimpse that there's a shotgun attached to the flashlight. The SOS pattern like we said, has no real application on a shotgun. But this one here, this defensive strobe, you probably could make out that there's a shotgun on there, but it's more of a defensive weapon in itself, just the strobe effect. My preference will be to keep it on the full 220 lumen mode. I think that that is just equal to staring at the sun, and somebody coming into your house will never have an idea that it's attached to a shotgun. They probably will think it's just a homeowner with a very bright flashlight trying to see if someone has entered their house or not. Unknowingly, it's going to be attached to a shotgun. So that was my that's been my video on this. Hope you guys liked it. And if you did, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'll be updating you with some more cool stuff as I acquire it and be sharing it with you. If you like this product, by the way, I have a link on how you can purchase it. It's by the same person I purchased it through, and it's also my Amazon affiliate link. So I appreciate the love. Thanks again, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to enter them in the box that you see below, and I look forward to chatting with you online. Have a great day, and God bless.